I take the things I do seriously, but I don't take myself seriously. It's a very weird, thin line.
Let's talk about WrestleMania 23 with Mr. Kennedy.
My first WrestleMania, I didn't think it would be such a lasting moment. And the cool thing was he trained me to wrestle.
You were the butt of a lot of jokes.
Letting me live my dream. Why would I say no?
17 as a whole is the best WrestleMania.
You're out of your mind.
What's the best WrestleMania?
20.
Everyone talks about the great matches during the Attitude Era.
I will say today rivals the Attitude Era.
What was the scariest moment you ever had in the ring?
WeeLC. I've never done anything cooler than that match.
How's your podcast doing?
Awesome.
Yeah?
Fun. We're having fun. We're having a lot of fun. We're building a brand. Literally.
Is this Shark Tank?
No, the bald guy wouldn't give me shit. The old lady she might have a cute crush on me or something.
Barbara Corcoran.
Yeah, but it's we're having fun. I just had I call him Dolph. That's your name. I'll never call you Nick in my life. We just had Dolph on for like a really cool interview. It was one of those things where the issue that I'm finding is when I interview my friends, I get real nervous. Real nervous.
Why?
Because I don't want it to come off as an interview.
Yeah.
I want it to just be a conversation between buddies, but also hit on points. And so it's hard for me to go like, hey, remember when? Without just going, hey, remember when?
Because if you saw Nick in real life, you would
we
never...
would just bring it up and it would be funny. And like also that podcast was such a roast of each other, but that's how our friendship is. I feel like my relationship with 90% of my friends, real life or wrestling, is like a roast. But that's me. Because everyone always asks, you're bullied in school. And I talk about it in my book, Life is Short and So Am I, available at DylanPostl.com. And I didn't. And I truly feel I didn't because I was the first one to make the joke. Like they would, if someone said, tap me on the head, great. You can skip school class and you're going to get caught. I go in a locker. I'm fine. Or like shit like that. I won every limbo contest from the age of 3 years old. They weren't getting it. I was getting free movie tickets for winning limbo contests. They weren't. So, but it was stuff like that where it's just like fun to me. I've never taken myself seriously. I make jokes all the time. I was on 6 WrestleManias. But it was one of those, like, everyone now knows it's such a joke because I don't believe in myself. No.
Wait, you believe in yourself?
No.
What?
I don't. I don't believe in myself. Never have. Fuck, we just got really heavy. I don't take myself seriously. I never have. Life, wrestling, being a dad, I don't take myself seriously. I take the things I do seriously, but I don't take myself seriously. It's a very weird, thin line.
6 WrestleManias. What's your WrestleMania record? Because you didn't wrestle on all of them.
I didn't wrestle on fucking one of them.
That's right.
23, I took the bump, the huge bump.
Undefeated at WrestleMania then.
Undefeated and underpaid.
Well, let's talk about all of them. So WrestleMania 23. With Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah, man. My first WrestleMania. We're talking through the match and we're planning it out WrestleMania week at the hotel. They always had separate rooms with practice rings or walkthrough rings. And we're like, hey, at one point, Swoggle, you're going to try to climb for the thing, and Kennedy is going to powerbomb you off. The original plan was a powerbomb. And so we were doing it on the crash pad. And I don't like powerbombs. Never have. Because when I was backyard wrestling, I took a bad one. And I like scorpioned weirdly.
Ooh.
And it was very weird. And I never took them because I'm falling backwards really high. And for my people, midgets, because I'm giving you a card. He got real uncomfortable, guys. Yeah, like, I hope we need the camera change of when I said that word. He just goes, ugh. It was literally like he bit a lemon.
Wait a second.
Oh, I get that one. Let's go. So I've never taken power bombs well. And every time he was like practicing on the crash pad, I would turn. And I remember like Fit and Johnny going like, I don't know about that. And I'm thinking like, shit, this is my WrestleMania moment. I'm screwing it up. So They're talking through the match. And I go over to Ken and I go, hey, I have an idea. Can you give me your finish off the ladder? And he goes, I don't know, man. I go, let's try it. And so we set up another ladder. While everyone's talking on the outside of the ring, we're in the ring. We're setting up another ladder. I'm climbing one. And he picks me up on the other. Crash pad's here. He picks me up on the other. And all I hear is Finlay with his typical echo. Here we go. And it was one of those, he did it out of the crash pad. And I was like, yep, it's happening. I look right at Johnny. I said, let's do it. And it was one of those things where I legitimately did not think it would be such a moment at that time. Day of WrestleMania, we walk through the pickup because now we're in the ring and the ladders are moving. And I'm going, all right, let's do it. That's when I knew. I was like, this could be big. And I didn't think it would be such a lasting moment. I mean, that was 7 years. No. Holy shit. 17 years later.
We're still talking about it. Wow.
Know.
It's just when you watch it.
That stuff doesn't hit me. It's just like, it's one of the
goosebumps.
I'm the big Dwayne here. Dill Johnson, they call me.
The Dill. The big Dill.
The Pebble.
But it's when you watch it back, it's so violent.
The cool thing is when you can, if you watch it, you see us hit, and I have a smile on my face, and I just stop selling. And Ken goes, "You good?" I go, "I'm good, buddy." And I go, "Oh shit, I gotta sell." And I go back there. But it's one of those things. And then the other cool thing is, you see me selling and pick me up, and I'm shaking. And then when we're ready to go, you just see me go, "Oh no!" Just like hold tight, man. It was great. It was it made like every trailer from the Mania. It made the DVD booklet, like the picture. It was incredible.
That's a true WrestleMania moment.
Yeah, and I don't believe in myself.
You need to stop that.
I know. I understand this. It's not not a healthy way to live. Believe me, I know. I don't do many healthy things. But the thing is, man, the cool thing was he trained me to wrestle. Like I talk about it all the time. He was the guy that trained me. He got me my job. He put his name out there for me in WWE, and so for us to have that moment, was really, really cool.
So how do you try to top it the next year?
I'm announced as Vince's illegitimate, this is why WWE didn't let me talk. I'm not good at it. The Vince's son angle.
Yeah.
And then it ends up turning into Bradshaw and Finlay. And I'm hurt. I don't know if I'm coming back for WrestleMania. Legitimately didn't know.
This is 2024.
Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. I didn't know what the plan was. I didn't know. I was like, am I just done? Is this it? Because when I was hired, I was told it's 6 months. Literally told this is going to be a 6-month gig. It was a bit longer. And we talk about grateful. First grateful moment.
Love that.
Tally. Just making your graphics guy hate me with these.
Amazing.
But it's one of those. Then they literally called me because they gave me travel like 2 weeks out, and I was like, oh shit, it's Orlando. I'm gonna do Disney. I'm a Disney fanatic. I'm gonna do Orlando and do Disney with all my buddies and friends. We're gonna just make it a trip. And so I'm gonna go in early. I was going to go in the week. I was going to go in from Monday because I wasn't booked on Raw. So I was going to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every day. And then Saturday, Sunday, they were like, no, you can't. We need you as a surprise. We need you to fly in Saturday night. And I go, but I'm going to Disney World. And then I realized what I said to Stephanie McMahon, mind you. And she goes, Dylan, I really think you should think about this and think about that this surprise will be better. So let's maybe just have you come in that night. I go, you're correct.
Yeah, I guess I could put Disney on hold.
Yeah. And so we went the whole week after for 5 days. It was great. But and then that was so 23, I didn't have an entrance. 23, I just came from under. 24, having an entrance at WrestleMania. I can't describe it other than you don't see people, you just see faces. It's a very weird thing. All wrestling shirts are black, unless you're John Cena, and then it's orange. My hearing aid is going off. That's 37, by the way. 37 years old with a hearing aid, baby. It's my life.
You can put it on here if you want. Okay.
Don't do anything healthy. Just put my hearing aid on my jeans. Also, just remembered, guys, peek behind the curtain. CVV asked me, do you want your feet in the shot? I go, is it funny? Pretty funny.
Is the hearing aid from like being like,
no, the hearing aid is
from
because
wrestling?
I had a tumor in my ear when I was a kid. And just like my first back surgery that paralyzed me as a child, this one, the doctor never worked on a person of my stature. We're different. I got a large skull, not as big of a brain, large skull. They literally cut it open. They flip it here, my ear here. And they go, oh no, it's different than a normie. He's one of your people. It's different than a normie's skull and ear. And they literally hit they ended up hitting an artery.
Oh, wow.
And so I was like bleeding out. And they got it, they patched it up. And I had to wear gauze. This is 6th grade, mind you, when everyone's judging. If they're not judging this, they're going to judge this giant bandage on my head. And they just literally like sewed me up with the issue and the possible bleeding still in my ear.
Wow.
So a month later, we got it taken out, but they ended up with the surgery. They made a hole on my eardrum. And then it was like 70% after surgery. I got it checked. I've had the hearing aid now for a year and a half. And it was like 3%.
Wow.
In the year, just over time. I'm sure being under a ring didn't help.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a lifesaver. I was very self-conscious.
I didn't even notice because your hair covered it.
Yeah, I was very self-conscious. And my father, who is my absolute hero, and my son, both said to me, why do you care? It's going to make your life better. Why do you care? And because in my mind, I was like, I'm 37. I shouldn't need a hearing aid. And I got one, and it's life-changing. I love it. I texted my buddies and my dad, and I go, man, the world is pretty loud. But it's great. I have, when I go to the taverns, I have what's called party mode.
Hey.
And I keep saying it should be like a fog machine and like, do. But it's just like, it's great. I love it, man. It's life-changing. And I've only forgotten it when I went to the ring once. And I've had to like give it to the ref. Here you go. Shit. But it's life changing.
This episode is brought to you by our good friends at Blue Chew. And you've heard me talk about Blue Chew for a while because they've been supporting the channel for years. Does it work? Do you need it? If you've ever thought about giving it a try, now is the time because your first month is free when you use the code INSIGHT. You just have to pay $5 for shipping. And yes, that's a new code. You guys used up the other code so much that they had to change it. So the new code is INSIGHT. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. And the best part is it's all done online. So no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at the pharmacy. And the process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. So discover your options at BlueChew.com. Chew it and do it. Your first month is free. You just have to pay $5 for shipping when you go to BlueChew.com and use the new promo code INSIGHT. That's BlueChew.com. The promo code is INSIGHT. Your first month is free. You just have to pay $5 for shipping.
Going back to 24, though, I had that entrance, and I just saw faces. And we had the whole thing with Bradshaw in that match, and it was such an awesome story that I come to find out years later, it was supposed to be Finlay and Vince at that WrestleMania. Not only that, but they were going to try to make it for a WWE title.
Your two dads wrestling each other.
Yes.
Wow.
It was supposed to be that. And I was like, man, if it was against Vince, JBL match was enormous.
Yeah.
Build to it and everything.
Yeah.
If it was against Vince. Can you imagine how much that build would have been like at that time?
Yeah.
But man, I'm very grateful.
Whoa.
That the match was so fun, and JBL is just the man. He's the absolute man, and he's been nothing but great with me. There's a spot with a trash can in that match that wasn't talked about. Literally, the last second, I saved my own life by just going, no! He just whips his trash can because he saw me, and that's him thinking on the fly, and he whips the trash can. I had no idea of it. It wasn't talked about, but it's like the highlight of the match.
Yes.
Is that. So
that clip gets replayed all the time to this day.
All the time. There's a really funny, my son tells me about TikToks. I'm 37 again. I'm not on TikTok. I call them Facebook watches. There's a really good compilation of me just getting the shit kicked out of me. And that's that. It's like Maurice slapping the hell out of me. It's R-Truth shooting the t-shirt gun at me. Miz shooting a t-shirt gun at me. Me getting kicked. It's just like, but it's one of those things where I look back and go, oh, I did a lot of times where I just took bumps. But it's great. I am very happy about all of it.
You were the butt of a lot of jokes.
It always made me laugh because it was like, oh, we don't have an answer? It's Hornswoggle. Like Vince's son.
Anonymous
GM.
Yeah.
All of this stuff was like, oh, we don't have anything. Oh, it's Dylan. I'm loving it. It was great. There was nothing. The only thing there was two things I didn't care for, and the whole time being there. And it was like when Mae Young gave birth to me as like the New Year's baby. I remember that. And then when they dressed me up as a cow, again with Torito, it was like those two. I was like, I can see the writing on the wall here, guys.
Yeah.
I was at my heavy stage in my life. I can see the writing on the wall, but I wasn't about to go. Nope, It was TV time, man.
Yeah,
letting me live my dream. The only thing I wanted to do since I was 4 years old was work for WWE and be on television.
Yeah.
Why would I say no? Why? So I can spend more time at home not booked or in catering not booked or all that? Why would I say no? It's again, my dad put it very, very well one time when I was home for a year. A year straight I was home, not booked. He goes, Dylan, they're paying you. You get to live your dream. Whether you're used once a year or once a week, you get to live your dream. That's what matters.
You've also been such a memorable character that if at any point in time your music hits, everybody knows what they can expect.
You know me. You're saying it.
And it's true, right? Like you could come out at any point and you'd have to maybe shave. Would you be okay with that?
There's a story with this.
Okay.
You don't know this one. Not many people. Actually, I've never told this story.
Okay.
What was my first return was Greatest Royal Rumble. Yeah. I get word like 2 weeks before. And first person I tell is my good friend Hawkins. Again, he's Hawkins. He's not Brian. My son literally at the convention today kept calling him Hawkins, and it made me so happy because they're best friends, and he calls him Hawkins. It's the best. He'll never be Brian Myers in my phone. I text Hawkins and I go, "Hey man, I'm booked for this fucking Greatest Royal Rumble." He goes, "Leprechaun gear still fit?" I go, "Not a goddamn chance." He goes, "What are you gonna wear?" I said, my Swoggle pants, my indie pants, because that's all that fits.
Yeah.
He goes, "What are you gonna do about a vest?" I said, "I'm gonna have the vest tailored." Oh shit. He goes, "What about the hair?" I'm not cutting my hair. Because you're cutting your hair. I'm not cutting my hair, Brian. It's a one-off. I'm not doing it. Then he had like 3 or 4 other friends of ours text me and go, "You need to do this. You need to cut your hair and dye it. They don't want long-haired Swoggle. They want Hornswoggle that they know." And I was very mad about it. I was very mad. I did it. I cut my hair. I got the trim. I bleached it. And it was a one-off. But it's like one of those things where he knew that's what people wanted. Exactly what you said.
Yeah.
They don't, you play the music and they see a little guy in green with a beard and it's one thing. But that made the character what it was. It was better. Didn't do it for the women's Royal Rumble because I knew it was going to be an 8-second spot under the ring. Not cutting my hair and bleaching it for that one. But man, it's one of those things where to this day on indie shows, my entrance music, I'm a huge New Found Glory fan. Turned into buddies of mine. And
I love New Found Glory.
Favorite band of all time. Legit my favorite band of all time.
What's your entrance theme?
Hit or Miss by New Found. So when I got released.
The needle on my record player has been wearing thin.
Dugga Dugga. Also, the only way I hear songs is in Dugga Duggas. We just talked about it on this week's pod. where like Ultimate Warriors, the only way to describe it is dugga 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 dugga, and like razors everyone. And
That's so true.
yeah, because it's all just bass. It's all you hear is bass guitar.
Dun, 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 dun. Yes.
Thank you, Dugga Dugga Chris Van Vliet,
so
everybody.
True.
But it really. So Newfound, I was like, when I got released, I go, man, I need to come out to Newfound. And I was like going through songs, and I came across Hit or Miss. But then I was like, I can't just have it be just that. So I now do like the intro to my WWE stuff into that. And it's a really fun thing because fans, Horse Cave, Kentucky, where I've wrestled, it's the best. I love it because it's still real to them and it makes me happy. Fans there hear the Hornswoggle music and they know it's me.
Yeah.
But then I get to hear a song that I love to hear every day. I can listen to every day. And it's like, okay, it makes me happy.
I love that song so much. That album was a formidable album for me.
Yeah. And my son is a Newfound Glory fan.
Oh.
Like, I took him to their shows twice now. And to see that and to see his love of wrestling and just, this is the grateful.
Wow.
I am more grateful for him than anything in my life. Anything. And it's so cliche and it's so like said by everyone that's a parent. Everyone that it's the best thing ever. But that he really, really, I was a child at 22 years old. I was still a frat boy, a college frat boy that failed college. Like that was me. I was living the WWE rock star life and just throwing money around at home like stupidly. He came and it's like, oh man, now I have a kid to pay for. Oh man, now I have to actually be respectful and responsible and a decent human, not a great human, a decent human. And it's one of those things where he's the best. He was at this convention all weekend.
He's very tall.
That was the reoccurring thing. I mean, was, hey man, this is my son Landon, and they all go, whoa.
What is he, like 6'1" or something?
He was 5'11" last time we went to the doctor, which was probably 6 months ago. But he is just he's ask Hawkins. He's shorter than him. Hawkins was wearing Sheamus style lifts in his boots, I'm pretty sure. But it's one of those things, man, where he's the best, and he loves this. He had so much fun. He said to me so many times this weekend, God, this is fun. This is just fun. He gets to hang out with Brian. He has to see Ziggs. That's the one. He gets to see people that he literally remembers meeting when he was like 4 or 5. Now he gets to like see him as an adult and just like he gets to hang out.
Yeah.
And Brian, there's the one, treats him as one of the gang. Cabana treats him as one of the gang. And it's just, he loves it. He truly, truly loves it. And it's one of those things where, man, I love being able to hang out with my kid when I'm working and like signing my fake name, just hanging out with my kid. Doesn't get better than that.
Okay, King and Queen of the Ring is this weekend. Who do you think is going to be wearing the crowns when it's all said and done? And who's going to win that main event? Cody Rhodes defending against Logan Paul. Do you think you know? I bet you think you know in that main event, at least. Why not take that knowledge and make a little bit of money at MyBookie? Yes, you can bet on WWE PLEs at mybookie.ag. And it's not just WWE. You can bet on Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. You may not like these odds, but MyBookie says that Jake Paul is the favorite in this. How about UFC 303? It's dead even odds with Conor McGregor taking on Michael Chandler. And you can bet on other things. You can bet on the NBA playoffs happening right now. You can bet on baseball, football. You can even place a wager on the results of the US presidential election. And when you sign up using my promo code CVV, you'll get a 50% welcome bonus. So that means if you put in $100, boom, now you've got $150. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere at MyBookie.
Do you think he wants to be a pro wrestler?
You know he wants to be a pro wrestler.
Is he going to train with Ken?
I know he's going to train with me eventually.
Hell yeah.
He's 14 now, and I keep telling him, I'm not allowing you to do it till you're 17. Our school doesn't allow it until you're 17. I'm not going to break the rules for him. It's not fair. His body isn't ready. I truly believe kids' bodies aren't ready till they're 17, 18 years old. It's not safe, I feel. Others feel it differently, and that's okay. My belief, and as his parent, is that he's not ready. Now, does he go to our ring twice a week? Yeah. But he's not, and does he do stupid shit? Yes. I don't go to watch him. He's with other students of mine. I'm not watching. Whatever he wants to do, he does it on a crash pad. It's fine. I did backyard wrestling. I can't hate on what he's doing. He's doing it in a real ring. I was doing it on mattresses and sheets in my backyard.
I can relate.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where he up until like 2 months ago, where he finally told his mom and I, he goes, I think a police officer would be pretty good too. And I literally looked at her, I go, stop, don't say anything, don't change it. I texted her after, and I go, this is the first time he brought up something other than wrestling.
Wow.
The very first time. He still wants to do this more than anything. I've explained to him, the most important thing is this should be a backup plan to a real career. This is a very real career. But I got lucky.
Yeah.
Everyone on that WWE roster got lucky. I tell him, you can be the best pro wrestler in the world. Doesn't mean WWE will pick you up, doesn't mean AEW pick you up, doesn't mean anyone. If they're not looking to hire a certain thing, you're going to be doing independence, which is awesome.
Yeah.
There's not a career at this level. There's not, unless you're a lucky one. So have it as a backup plan.
Yeah.
And that's what I truly feel and I truly believe. And man, he's good. It sucks for me because he's so good. It's scary how good he is. It really, really is scary. And he understands it. That's the scariest part too. He gets what he's doing and why he's doing it and why things are working. And it's the best. It's our bond. But it's awesome.
Do you remember what the first match was that you showed him?
First one he really sat down to watch like together when he was a little older was Shawn Taker 25.
Oh, so
which
good.
To me is the best match of all time.
That's such a great match.
You can take Ricky Steamboat and Macho Man. That might be third.
Wow.
I feel, and I love that match.
Yeah.
Taker Shawn 25 is the absolute best match of all time. I love Savage Steamboat. I like my favorites for Mania would probably be it's HBK Taker.
Yeah.
And it's Warrior Hogan because it's my match. That's
sure. Yeah.
What I got. It hooked me, man. And then it's the Savage Steamboat. But I think Savage Steamboat is also like tied with HBK Austin. But then you got Rock Austin at 17. But I like 19 more. I like WrestleMania 19 more than 17.
As a whole or the match?
The match.
Yeah.
And no one talks about 19.
Yeah.
No one. I like it way more.
I was talking about this with Sam Roberts recently. He's like, yeah, 17's Sam Roberts. He's on Sirius XM.
He has a podcast, right?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of him? Yeah.
You just started it? I can't wait for that message.
Yeah. Sam Roberts?
I think I follow him. I might not.
He goes, 17's great. Everyone forgets the end of the match.
Yes.
Austin turns heel.
It sucks. We just watched it. It sucks so much.
And like the Deborah stuff, it's actually kind of weird. Everyone thinks 17 is so great because of the Limp Bizkit My Way lead up.
Dylan Postl was 3 things in high school. 3 musics. Newfound Glory. Nelly. And I was known in high school as the Limp Bizkit guy. Legitimately known as the Limp Bizkit guy. My jeans as a teenage kid, when they played that song, my jeans were so tight. Probably got to edit that out. It's okay.
No,
I mean, talking about a teenager with tight jeans.
Definitely staying in.
Okay.
The jeans could just be tight.
They were just tight.
Yeah.
But man, that, and then they played at 19. That's why 19's so much better. So much better. The greatest band of all time, Tony Chimel was made to say by Fred Durst. You can ask him about it. Made to say the greatest band in the world, Limp Bizkit.
Fred Durst asked for that?
Yes.
What?
Oh, you're going to question that?
Well, I'm just saying it's a...
No.
Oh, am I questioning if Limp Bizkit is the best band ever?
Thank you. You will not question that. And if he does question it, it's edited out. It's at that. It was so good. And I loved it. I think that's why I like 19 because they played live.
It's funny when you see the memes or the photos online of
The memes.
the memes
Memes. Say that, my kid gets real pissed off.
of Rock Austin. Everyone just immediately thinks my way.
Yeah, man.
But it's like, no, they also wrestled at 15 and 19.
I think 15 is my least favorite for sure.
I mean,
But 15
I
was
think that's fair.
awesome.
I think that's fair.
15 stands out to me because no vest, because he forgot it because he was going through all the divorce stuff. Austin was. He talks about it. He's going through all the divorce stuff and he forgot his vest. So he just has his t-shirt.
17 as a whole, I think is the best WrestleMania.
You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
Let me make a case for it. TLC 2
It's the only case you have.
and Rock Austin. Like,
Sorry, we already talked
What?
about that.
what's the best WrestleMania?
20.
Okay.
I love 20.
20 is
I
fantastic.
love 20. I like 19. 20 is probably my favorite. 25 is incredible.
25 is very good. What's the match from 20 that you're like, this is it?
The Redacted. But Eddie Angle,
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
I
Redacted.
mean, come on. I was just talking to Landon and I said, man, the other Redacted 3 in a row where it's Redacted against Shane, Redacted against Hogan, and Redacted against Taker. Those are fun to watch. What?
There's so many redacted names now.
Yeah. I can't get canceled these days. I love my bookings.
I understand.
Redacted was my dad.
Oh, he's redacted too. Yeah, well, yeah.
But then it was Finlay. I hate. Man, remember when Vince was your dad? He wasn't my dad. It was Finlay the whole time.
Yes. People forget this.
Shouldn't. There's only one of this.
That's right. People forget. That whole segment, that gets brought up all the
Yeah,
time.
man. I found out at 3:30 that afternoon.
I remember you telling me the story.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's crazy. It's in front of my family. My family was in the village in Green Bay. At that point, 45 minutes from my house. Awesome.
The way that Vince had everybody in the ring.
And
And his-
Sandman wouldn't leave because everything they said, every clue they said, Sandman goes, ha ha, that's still okay with me. So they had to like make one up on the fly.
What? Which
Yeah.
one did they make up on the fly?
Remember,
If you've been in ECW.
he was there, champion. He was ECW champion.
That's right, yeah.
Not a current champ, but he was ECW.
And he's Caucasian.
Caucasian. Can we talk about that? You can't, like, that's something 2024. I don't know if there's a lot
Oh, yeah.
of that whole thing. That's like, that wasn't that long ago.
Now that
17 years ago it was.
that clip gets replayed all the time. If you're Caucasian, leave the ring.
No, it doesn't.
No. Oh, yeah. If you're not, wait, if you're not Caucasian, leave the ring. Yeah.
That's brutal, man.
Well,
Times are changing. But
yeah.
another, as I say all the time, I truly say it all the time. It's another time. It's just another time in wrestling. Attitude Era, another time in wrestling. No, everyone. I love the Attitude Era, man. When that was my teenage fan base. But no one talks about how like non-PC the Attitude Era was.
Of course.
No one talks about that. Do you think it's because that there's such a love and like a nostalgia for it that no one? You can grab water. It's okay.
I'm good. Jeez. I don't know what happened there. Oh, grab a little sip. I'll grab a little
He questioned it.
sip-ski.
He questioned it. You're not editing that out. If I don't get edited, neither does CVV.
Nothing gets edited.
But no one talks about like they did some crazy things. But everyone talks about it out of like a love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's kind of how nostalgia works, though.
It's out of love. 100%.
Nostalgia in general, like we look at things maybe better than they were. Like while
More okay. Or even more okay than
yeah. Well, everyone talks about the great matches that happened during the Attitude Era. People don't talk about
There's so much punch, kick, choke. Punch, kick, choke. Other guy, punch, kick, choke, finish, kick out, sweet crowd shot. All it was.
that was really good.
That's all. 5-star match. 5-star.
Oh no, there were no 5-star matches. There were no 5-star matches in the Attitude Era, according to
I would like, but I think it's nostalgia where we have such a love for it. It's almost seen through what's it called, rose-colored glasses.
Yes, but like everyone's like, oh, the characters were so good. Yes, a lot of the characters were really good.
Golga. Golga was great.
Naked
I love
Midian.
Golga.
Beaver Cleavage. I saw him. He's great.
Thank you. I loved the Attitude Era for my nostalgia for
Me
it.
too.
But we cannot say it was like it was an incredible time in wrestling.
Yeah.
Probably until today, I will say today in wrestling rivals the Attitude Era. First time ever. First time ever.
I think the world was just in a different place. Like Girls Gone Wild was a thing that like people embraced and thought was cool.
But why are we okay with that and not a few years later where, oh man, they shouldn't have went that far? Like,
Yeah.
that's what I don't get about wrestling.
It's an interesting thing, right? Like the way that pendulum swings. It's very interesting.
I think it's all, like you said, I think it's all nostalgia and all like rose-colored glasses of, it was so cool.
So I made a video about this recently. There's these two forces in wrestling that are butted up right against each other. Two very powerful forces. Nostalgia and recency bias, right? Nostalgia, you remember a time and a place because it made you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
Recency bias is like, I just saw this thing last week. Like The Rock's rubbing Cody Rhodes' blood on the weight belt. Like, how could it possibly be any cooler?
Here's the thing. Why did people want blood? I truly feel it's not because of the Attitude Era. It's because we were told online, absolutely no blood. No blood anymore. All these sponsors don't want blood. This, that, and the other thing. So when they got it, it's like, the fucking Attitude Era! No, it's not. They're just doing it. They're just doing it.
Yeah.
They're not going back to the, man, we need to go to 96. We need to do 96 all over. No.
Yeah.
We're just, who knows if we ever see it again. We're not gonna, I don't think we're going to see it weekly like we did in the Attitude Era, but it's cool, man. Like, and I truly feel like everything is compared. Why can't we as wrestling fans, including myself, because I still find myself doing it, I'm a wrestling fan, like we all are. Why can't we as wrestling fans just enjoy wrestling?
That is the $1 million question.
Why can't we? Why do we have to always compare to even last week, to the week before, to all of this? And I think it's because of Twitter algorithm. I think it's because of Twitter timelines. I think it's that. But that's this day and age. I truly feel that's this day and age too. I tell the students of mine, I said, from Royal Rumble to WrestleMania, I don't want to hear you guys go, oh man, that was kind of, no. This is the best time of wrestling in the year. From Rumble to Mania is the time where you need to step back, forget that you know things but like, and just enjoy wrestling. Let yourself enjoy wrestling. WrestleMania, I fly home every year from WrestleCon. I fly home to watch it with my son. We sit together on the couch and we enjoy it. We just enjoy wrestling. Why did I want to do this? Why am I still signing my fake name? Because I watched wrestling. That's why. Why aren't we doing this anymore?
That's the big question is why can't we just enjoy it?
Because we have to bitch.
Yeah.
In 2024, we want to bitch. As a society,
Well,
we want to bitch.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has a voice, which is both a good thing and a bad thing.
It's great.
Yeah.
Podcast. We wouldn't have these if we didn't have, if we weren't allowed to have a voice, we wouldn't be able to do what we do.
Absolutely.
But I hate picking apart and not being able to enjoy it. Because guess what? 99% of us don't know what's happening next.
Yeah.
We don't know what's, like, why can't we just, if we didn't enjoy it as much, why can't we take a step back and go, oh, let's see what they do next week?
This isn't exclusive to wrestling, right? Like this.
No, not at all.
If you're a massive,
we see it because we're in this world.
Yeah. But if you're a massive Packers fan, Browns fan, Giants fan, whatever your team or sport is.
Monday morning quarterback.
Of course. And you're sitting there going, during the game, why'd they call that play on 3rd and 10? Oh.
I love going to the tavern to watch Packer games because of that. Because I now just go, man, you should be the coach. Why aren't you getting paid? And they go, fuck off. Like, come on. But it's just like, I still enjoy wrestling.
I feel like it's almost like this, like there's a level that some people get where it's like you just get to a point where you just can enjoy it. It doesn't happen for everybody.
You should.
Yeah.
You should let yourself be able to enjoy it. I love it, man.
Yeah.
I still love it. And I don't think I'm ever going to not love it. I truly believe I'm not going to ever not love it. I should have hated it when I got released.
Was there ever a time you didn't love it?
Yeah. When I was unbooked with WWE and sitting home, I was bitter. I was still pitching stuff weekly.
Were you even watching it? Or did it get to a point where you were like, I'm so angry that...
No, I was still watching it.
Okay.
I think out of spite. Very unhealthy things. I think out of spite. I was like, oh, I should be on this show. That sucked. Again, same as today's fans. That sucked. They should be doing something else. I don't think ever again I'll ever not be a wrestling fan. Especially with my son now, man. We love it. We watch everything. Literally, we love wrestling. We love it. And it's fun. It's our bond. It's like, I don't know sports. Shocking, I wasn't a sports player growing up. I didn't have the body for it.
Yet you were a professional athlete.
Yes, loosely. I can bite a good ass. I can't shoot a free throw. But it's one of those things, man, where I truly if I stop enjoying wrestling, I need to back out. My ego's too big. I think I'm above it. That's all it is.
What did the pitch look like when they told you you were going to work with Great Khali?
I think it was just a random, hey, you weren't booked. We're going to do this. God damn it. Can you imagine them two next to each other? And then Natalia. Great. Misfits. Look at them. Goddamn freak show. I loved it. I was on TV. It's great. Khali was he was a buddy of mine. He turned into an overtime. He was my first riding partner. It's me, Davari, Khali, and Mark Henry.
Wow. What a car.
What a car.
All four of you at the same time?
What a car. Yeah.
Who drove?
Davari.
Okay.
Davari drove.
I'm guessing he had to
Khali
sit
is shotgun.
right?
Me sitting behind Khali. I don't need legroom. And then Mark Henry behind Davari. Mark Henry would fall asleep. Khali liked to smoke in cars. Pissed all of us off, but we're not going to tell a giant. He was in The Longest Yard. Again, favorite movie of mine because Nelly was in it. We're not going to tell him no. But Mark Henry would smoke, or Khali would smoke, and Mark Henry would then smell it. God damn it, put it out, he'd say. Just fucking fire up. And at them two, I would as I did with a good amount of locker rooms, I like to poke the bear. I like to maybe start the fight and the argument, and then I would just leave. I love it. It makes me happy. I'm called the Cartman of group chats. I literally just enter, get people going, and then I won't respond for a couple hours. I love it.
That's great.
It makes my day. But it's just, I loved Khali, man. I still do. He's the best. He didn't need to do it. He had an acting career. Didn't need to do it. It's the best.
Who else did you ride with?
My longest riding partners were Kofi and Hawkins. Longest. We called ourselves Kofi and I always called ourselves Team Dad. And it was really funny because Hawkins didn't have his children at the time. So Kofi and I we'd sit at Denny's, we'd order, and then Kofi and I would just get up, call our kids. Hawkins was like, you assholes, you're leaving me at a table by myself. No one to talk to. I got nothing to do. So we just Team Dad. And then when Hawkins and his wife found out they were having a baby, he texted us. He goes, hey guys, just want to ask if I can be part of Team Dad. And it was like,
wow,
oh man. And it was a really, really cool moment. And now seeing all three of us as dads, I just went to SmackDown with Landon a couple weeks ago, and one of the first people we ran into was Kofi, and he goes, the same reaction as all day today. Holy shit! What? Jeez, oh Pete, very Wisconsin thing. Jeez, oh Pete.
Jeez, oh Pete.
Jeez, oh Pete. Yeah. But it's so seeing all Hawkins' kids, I see him all the time when I'm out by him, and Kofi's kids. It's just would have thought, not me. I would have never thought I would have had a kid. Literally in my whole life, never married, never kid. Rockstar life, my whole life. It's the greatest thing, man.
You had a WrestleMania moment with Kofi.
Yeah, that son of a bitch. My best friend, literally my best friend in wrestling, him and Brian, my two best friends in wrestling. We planned the spot for WrestleMania 29, where I'm gonna have a big. Everyone's doing dives. Zach does a pretty shitty dive, but dive. And then I'm gonna do a dive R-Truth and Kofi are going to lift me to the top rope, and I'm going to jump. So I need to hold their hands to hang on to the top rope, though. R-Truth I knew and was buddies with, but not like Kofi. They get me to the top rope, and Kofi's not holding on. He lets go, and I go, on the DVD in the video, you can hear me go, hand, hand, hand. And I go, fuck it, and I just jump. I get to the back, and I go, you son of a bitch. He goes, what? I go, you literally just let go of me. I could have fallen back into the ring or onto the rope, whatever. He goes, no, I didn't. I said, oh, really? I said, let's watch it tomorrow on TV. We watched it. He goes, probably just lost grip. And Kofi is the king of excuses with his buddies, like sarcastic excuses. It's one of those things where you can literally hear me and see me yelling, hand, hand, hand. Just not there, so I just had to jump. Yeah, he's just a buddy of mine. I love him. I truly love that guy. If I say about him, and I don't say it about many, but I say it about him, if you have a problem with Kofi, there's something wrong with you.
Wow.
He is such a genuine human being. There's no, like, if you have an issue, it's your fault. Mm-hmm. I've never heard someone say a negative word about that guy. It's just the greatest human ever.
Well, how'd you feel when he won the championship?
Talked about it and hit the dirt sheets a couple of weeks ago. I was watching with my son, and it literally like welled me up because it was one of the most awesome builds. He was a guy that it wasn't like he even shouldn't have made it to that level, but you never thought he would. He should have.
Yeah. For
sure should have.
He's so talented.
And always gets a great reaction. Always did everything they asked. Everything they asked. That promo just popped up on my timeline the other day. The New Day promo with Redacted. And they're like laying it all out there. It was like heartfelt today even. And it was like, man, that night when he won, the most, I truly feel it's the most heartfelt moment of any WrestleMania ever. Any WrestleMania of all time. That's where fans can really take it and go, this is special. And this means something.
Yeah.
Wins and losses at WrestleMania can be cool and they can get a reaction. That one meant something for the very first time, I feel. Yeah. I don't know if it'll ever be touched. For such a heartfelt, wholesome moment.
Yeah.
I don't know what else happened on that show.
35? Yeah. That was WrestleMania 35?
Sure. No, it wasn't. We're at 30. No, it's not 37 this year. It's 40. Oh my God. It's 40. I was like, it's not 2 years ago.
I can give you some 35. It was Triple H and Batista. It was Kurt Angle's retirement match.
Oh, with the nose thing. Corbin. With the nose ring?
Yeah. It trips when he walks into the ring.
Who does? Batista does. Yeah. Batista? Was it Batista? It was Batista. Yeah.
Kurt Angle's retirement match against Baron Corbin. Yeah.
Yep.
And the match, or the whole WrestleMania was about 17 hours long. Yeah.
It was a long one.
It was the last
Was it
year.
The last one day?
Yes. Oh. And then the next year was no fans. So they were like, let's make this a 2-night event.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah. What was the scariest moment you ever had in the ring?
WeeLC. Truly WeeLC. Going into it, it's the most talked about match I've ever done. I will never top it. I will never do anything cooler. I've never done anything cooler than that match. It was scary because it was in New Jersey, who behind Chicago is the most like heel crowd, wanting to get themselves over crowd. I can say it. I don't give a shit anymore. But it was like, I didn't know how they would react. It's two midgets, one a bull, a midget bull and a midget rock star, going into a match on the pre-show. First thing that crowd sees that night, with many ladders and many tables, many chairs, many commentary, many announcer. I didn't know how they'd react. I thought they were going to boo the shit out of it. I really did. I remember being backstage in my heart, knowing we're going to kill it. In my mind going, if they start booing, we're done. We're done. And the coolest moment of my life, match of my life, going into it is going to be the worst thing ever. And I never thought it would hold up like it has. I never thought it would be such a, not even a talked about thing, but like.
It's a memorable thing for sure.
A shove up the ass moment, I'll say. To the fans there, I guarantee the locker room didn't take it seriously. shove it up their ass.
Mm.
The only the only one I remember is standing ovation. Gorilla, I get to the gorilla, and everyone is on their feet clapping for us.
Wow.
It was one of those moments where I was like, okay, it was pretty awesome. And then I remember being in my gear, literally to like 2 matches left, and Torito is leaving. He goes, "You okay?" So I'm okay. Why aren't you changing? I go, I'm still in the moment, man.
Wow.
Goes, all right, I'll see you tomorrow.
That means that when people were watching this in Gorilla, there was a moment where people were hitting people going,
yeah,
this is actually pretty good.
That's what I wish I would see of, not this is good. This is actually. There's a big difference there. Big difference between this is good and this is actually. And this is actually where we shoved it up everyone's ass. And that makes me so happy.
I love that so much.
I've lived my life that way. I truly have lived my life like, not like the bullshit of, I'm going to do what you tell me I can't. No, I'm just going to prove you wrong to make myself happy. Tell me no. And I'm going to try it. If it fails, it fails. I'm okay with that. But I got to try it.
Yeah.
I got to try it to like at least go, hey, I tried that. I am a believer, a firm believer in take the picture. I've spread it around to people now. Take the picture. Ultimate Warrior, when I took that picture, I guarantee it's one of the last 5 pictures he ever took in his life.
Wow.
If I didn't take the picture, if I didn't storm to Gorilla, and literally going up to him, I would never have gotten a picture with my childhood hero. Never have happened. Always take the picture. I have photos with guys that have passed on now that I go, oh my God, I got it. I took photos with my son at the convention today. I don't know if he's going to ever be into it. He might lose interest in wrestling next year, but I have this.
Yeah.
I have like so many things, so many photos were of him. And it's like, I have to do it because I don't know what's going to happen to me. I could walk and get hit by a car, man. It's done. But I have an awesome memory of that. And even if my son doesn't give a shit about wrestling in 20 years, it's still pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I always take the picture. You're not, and I hate the mindset of you're just being a mark. We all are, because that's why we do this. Like I said earlier, if we weren't fans or marks, we wouldn't be doing this. And guess what? If you didn't take a photo, and I guarantee that person has passed on, unfortunately, and you go, man, I wish I had that photo to post on social media and join everyone, because that's what we do. But you don't have it. And that's why, man, I always do. It's with my friends. It's with people I've never met. Other stars that I've never met. It's legends. I always take the photo. Always. I don't know when this is going to stop. Yeah. I don't know when my body is just going to say, Dylan, stop. You have to stop. It already does. My body sucks right now. It says stop every day.
What part of your body says
From
stop?
here down, says stop. I have no feeling in my feet. My legs are pretty much dead.
What?
From here up, it's good. I'm good. I'm good from here up.
What can we do to fix this?
Nothing. I had another back surgery I had 2 back surgeries about 3 years ago. One to try to fix the problem, the other to try to fix that one. We're good. I'm good. I truly am okay. But my body tells me you need to stop. My mind tells me you need to stop. The ego in me, and I fully admit it, it's a full ego. All ego told me it's my ego. And
I love that guy.
Yeah. Best. Heartfelt moment right there. It's how he put it. People love Hornswoggle. You need to love Dylan from Oshkosh. And that's when this stops. All of this and signing my fake name. I'm Dylan from Oshkosh. I've always been Dylan from Oshkosh. I have the mindset of Dylan from Oshkosh, but I still love Hornswoggle. I still love being able to sign my fake name.
Yeah.
I need to have a time where, okay, let's go back to being Dylan. I don't know if that'll ever happen.
The fact that you're even saying that right now and that you're self-aware enough.
Oh, I know there's a full difference.
That means you're there.
Yeah, but I don't want to be there. I don't want to take that step. And that's what's scary. That's what's scary. No one does. I'm ready for the 9 to 5. I know the 9 to 5 is happening. I know the 9 to 5 is going to happen. I'm not ready for it. I'm okay with it when it happens. I ain't ready for it.
What do you want to do?
Target. I loved working at Target. Target is my happy place. I love Target. I'm ready to put on the red and khakis again. I'm ready, man. But it's like,
is there a Target in Oshkosh?
Fuck yeah.
Then there
Oshkosh
it is.
is a booming metropolis. Thank you. Tyrese Halliburton with the Pacers, Indiana Pacers. I don't know anything about basketball. I just know him. He's from Oshkosh. I literally DM'd him the other day. I said, "You're really taking off this Oshkosh cred from me. I'm not happy about it." He's an awesome dude. He's a huge wrestling fanatic. He was at one of the press conferences a couple of pay-per-views ago. It's awesome. And he's a huge wrestling fan. He's one of the biggest stars in basketball right now. But he does so much for Oshkosh, and it's like good to see because I've always done I've said it to you and I've said it to everyone. Every interview I've ever done, I've always mentioned Oshkosh. Yeah. Everyone. Because it's my home. It's my heart. It's literally my heart. It's where I'm from.
This has been so fun, man.
Grateful, man.
We're getting to that.
Grateful.
I'm grateful for you. I love how you bring it. You have the most infectious laugh. It's the best thing.
This things like this, working with you, seeing your rise, seeing Sam Roberts rise. Legitimately, I love that man.
Who?
I think he has a show. I think he's on Bust. Is he still doing like the comedy shit? I don't know. But
serious. He's on serious.
He's not taking himself serious. Probably should. Sweet hair. This hair looks way better now, though.
He doesn't have any.
Yeah, that's why it looks better.
Love you, Sam.
No, it doesn't. Bullshitting. Seeing your guys' rise, and I've told you this in private. I've told him this in private. Seeing your guys' rise makes me happy because you guys went from, like we all are, fans doing pickup podcasts. Let's be honest, they're pickup podcasts and just trying to make our name for ourselves. Doing radio. Sam was doing radio and all of this. And we're just fans, and now you're taking a goddamn chance on yourself. You're betting on yourself, and you seeing this just fucking blow up. Now you're welcome to these events and these media things. Sam is working on the goddamn network. I still call it a network because to me it is. It sucks now, but I love it because it's still a network. Peacock, add chapters again. Put chapters back, please. But it's stuff like that. Stop with the seasons. It's WrestleMania 37. It's not the 37th season of WrestleMania. But seeing your guys' rise is so cool to me because it's like you guys have been so good to me. You guys have been awesome to me, and we've always been buddies. You've never been one to like clickbait bullshit me, and that makes me happy. Where it's never been out for like, oh man, we got a good thing here. We got a good scoop. It's never been that, man. It just makes me happy to see your guys' rise, and to see that really is awesome to me. So it's
appreciate that.
I love doing
Thank you.
These. You guys, I love doing these, and I like seeing good people should be being treated well.
That means a lot coming from you. So thank you.
That.
You sent me that message the other day about the John Cena interview. I was just like,
that one was life-changing. Life-changing of a watch. I texted him, and then I texted you.
Wow.
I swear on my son. I texted him, and then I texted you.
Thank you.
And I said to him, you are made for these things.
Yeah.
He's the man.
Yeah.
Isn't he? Isn't he just the fucking man?
He really is. I've interviewed him a bunch of times now. Every time I leave going, I gotta be a better person. Like he's so
and
nice.
He was on
kind.
The Bad Friends podcast, which I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fanatic. Andrew Santino, give me that follow back. I'm just a fan of those two guys and that podcast. And he was on them. He's such a good riffer.
Yeah.
He's such a good riffer. And he was the first person to call me when Landon was born. 3:30 a.m. I sent the text at it was like 2 or 3 in the morning. He called me after to check up. He goes, "Hey man, everything good?" I said, "Everything's great." He goes, "Congratulations."
Wow.
He's always been such a good friend of mine. seeing him do what he's doing now is incredible.
Yeah.
He fit every time he does like a late night show. I just say, you fit in.
Yeah.
You're not a guest.
Yeah.
You're a buddy of the show. That's what it is. So, but going back to that, watching that interview you did was very like, you saw a different side of him. And you saw like, it was heartfelt. It was two buddies hanging out.
He was so open too. Like
him and Howard Stern. I've been a Stern fanatic my whole life.
So good.
Hearing him on Stern was a different him that I've ever heard.
I did an interview with him for the very first time when he had that show True Grit or American Grit.
American Grit, yeah.
And I was like, hey man, like, where'd you hide the ring at WrestleMania 33? This was like right after the engagement. He's like, that's what I'm gonna. I'm just gonna keep that to myself. And it's just like, what? Like it's not even like it's not a secret question. And here we are years later, and I'm asking him like in-depth things, and he's like giving me full answers. Like, what a different place of his life he's in.
And he's great about not talking over people, something I'm not great at. I've realized with my podcast, Going Postl, you can find it on youtube.com/DylanPostl. You can find it everywhere you find your favorite podcast, Apple Pod, Spotify Pod, probably Google.
Google's actually going away this weekend. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And that's going to shock a lot of people. Google Podcast is going away.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's those two.
That's everywhere else.
Everywhere else.
On Podbay and
Streamcast.
Player.fm.
But I realized I'm horrible at talking over people because I always have something here. And because I know how bad my memory is, I want to go, yeah. So I don't forget. My memory is going really quickly. And I don't know why. It's just how I am. I need to get on that bio brain or whatever. Conrad Thompson talks about it all the time. It's some brain thing that I'm going to try, but whatever. Your guys' interview was incredible. I truly mean that. And I, as soon as I got done watching, I had to message him and I had to message you. And it killed it.
I didn't go into that with the intention to say this is my favorite interview, but we got towards the end and I'm just like, it was almost like an out of body experience where I'm like, this is way better than I could have ever imagined. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's the best. And he texted me when he left and he's like, I couldn't think of a better way to end my day. And I'm like, you didn't need to say that. You didn't even need to do this interview with me.
No, and he didn't need to reach out. He didn't need to take the time and he didn't need to say that.
Yeah.
He could have just said, hey man, thanks.
Yep. And then shook my hand and then left and I wouldn't have seen him for another year.
But even the message could have just said, hey bud, good time.
Yeah. Couldn't have thought of a better way to end my day. Thank you. It's like, no. Thank you, John Cena.
Yeah, man. I always call him John Cena just to pop myself. Or I just go to my buddy, my pals back home. I just go, my friend John, you know him. You might have heard of him. Just to get like that shit-eating grin. They just to get, same as the Six Mania Dill here. Just to like get, whenever I hear from my friends back home, it makes me happy. Because again, I'm not taking myself seriously. They know I don't. They know I don't take myself like that. I don't view myself that way. And so whenever I just say it to pop myself, get that reaction out of them, it makes me happy.
So again, thank you for this.
Oh yeah.
You're the best.
Easy. I'm
pretty
decent, as I say.
You've listed a bunch of things, but what are 3 things that you're grateful for?
A kid. That's all I gotta say. Legit. Like a kid. He's at 14 way better of a human than I will ever be in my life. My dad, who is way better of a human than any human I've ever met in my life. Everyone goes, it's like the Kofi thing, to be honest. I say, if you've ever been upset at Eric Postl or with Eric Postl, you're a fucking asshole. And when I bring guests in for wrestling, Water City Wrestling Con, and our big events and that for ACW Wisconsin, it's that they go, my dad does all the running. Airport runs, hotel runs, everything. And I always get a text, your dad is the greatest.
Oh, wow.
Your dad is the best. And he...
As a grown man, isn't that the greatest compliment?
I get when I get about my dad,
when
I get about my son, it's like, fuck, I must be a piece of shit then. But he's just and life lessons that he's given me.
Yeah.
Usually about money. Hey, stop spending.
What's the stupidest thing you bought?
Holy shit. Oof. I paid for my own 21st birthday. I threw myself a 21st birthday and spent probably $10,000 on booze.
Wow.
And
there were only 6 people there.
Legitimately, there weren't many of us. And I was just buying bottles and bottles and bottles and bottles and bottles because I thought that was a cool thing to do.
Vegas?
Working for WWE, I was like, I have to do it big.
Was it in Vegas?
No, it was in fucking Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
What's a bottle cost at a bar in Oshkosh?
I don't know. I can't think now. I don't remember. It's a lot of bottles though. But probably that, or like my Muppets collection. I love it, and he loves it now because he knows I'm such a fanatic. But he just whenever a box would show up at the doorstep, because he always, when I'm gone, I live 3 minutes from him. He brings in my packages and he goes, "More toys." Yeah, more toys. Grateful for my son. Grateful for my dad. Grateful that people give a shit about me signing my fake name. As crazy as that is to think about and like say, I always like laugh. I go, I'm signing my fake name.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking awesome that I can still do that. I haven't been with the company in how long? 2016 to it's now 2024. It's not 1 year. It's not 10.
It's 8. That's 8.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oshkosh math. But like 8 years later, man, people give a shit.
Yeah.
People give a shit. I truly am. That's like in a nutshell. I'm happy people give a shit.
They're never going to stop.
Ah!
Yeah.
Nah, I don't.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.